Alright. So we should be good to go. Now, welcome back everyone. Welcome to anyone who is new around here. And already lots of people in the chat. Hello. Elegy's first. Elegy is our community manager. And Elegy is here for some art tutorials. So today I'm going to take a slightly different approach. And of course I'm just going to wait for some more viewers because I was quite late in posting the announcement in the Discord. So just a few minutes to wait for some more people to join up. So today I was thinking of, because I saw Frusty's stream last week where it was a really nice start where he sort of explained what he was doing in a bit more detail in terms of how things work and what all these confusing panels mean, because obviously Photoshop isn't as complicated as 3D software like Blender, but there's still an awful lot for you to take in, and if you're not familiar with it, then it must be quite confusing for you. So I'm just going to go through all the basics and hopefully I can sort of show you with a bit more explanation what I'm doing. And just having a look at the chat. Zahn13, Avo, I'm not sure how to say that name. Tees van Pinksteren, and Fingers McNippleson, welcome to you all. Evening, Joseph. So today we're going to be doing more work on these Haradrim. So you saw me do these last week, and we did this chap on the middle left here. So today I'm thinking of doing, like I said, for those of you who've just joined, I'm thinking of just doing a slight sort of tutorial kind of style thing. And TaikeZA in the chat. Taike's a fellow YouTuber. Well, I'm not a YouTuber, but he's a YouTuber who has these quite fascinating little short videos of Rise of Mordor duels. So do have a look at that. That was weirdly entertaining. The impressive Marcus Newman. Hello there. Hello to you too. Of course, any of you who are new to this project and like to see more about it, our social media links are in the description. And actually, Elegy, if you want to send the message and stuff, I can pin it. Or if someone else is on the official account, they can pin it as well. The mod team is here. They certainly are. We've got 3 moderators in the chat right now. Holy Plague Knight as well. Mortimer Madsen, hello to you too as well. Thanks for stopping by, everyone. So let's make a start. And yeah, for the purposes of like a tutorial style, I'm gonna. Oh, they're broken. Sorry, the links below are broken. So just hold on 1 minute if you'd like to check out more about the project. The links will shortly be fixed. But yes, so let's get on with this this kind of tutorial style thing. And I'm gonna start this new guy. It was a quick sketch. Now, first of all, with tutorials, it's the first thing you need basically all the time with digital art is a drawing pad. You can get. I'm using the mouse for stuff like this, but once it comes to drawing, I'm trying to use the mouse like this. It's quite hard. Anyone who can draw with the mouse earns my undying respect. Panda Gentleman asking, am I making Smeagol today? Smeagol, I'm not sure. I'm not making him, no. And I'm only doing some concept art today. I'm not sure if Smeagol Gollum is going to be in the mod at all, because I'm not sure how he could fit in. So I'm not sure about that. TaikeZA, Rise of Mordor is watching Rise of Mordor. Yeah, it's always nice to have that professional looking, the official account swooping to the rescue. and Energy confirming the links are fixed. So anyone wanting to find out more about the project can have a look down below. That'll take you to our official Discord, where you'll find previews and announcements, and where you can connect with the rest of the community. So let's get into this tutorial. So first of all, this bar to the left, these are your tools. And the one I use the most as a 2D artist is the brush tool. And this is basically the one that allows you to draw. And of course the opposite of this is the eraser tool, which allows you to rub out. So those are the two I'm going to use for now. Now, the thing is, swapping to these tools and stuff is a pain. When you're drawing something quickly and then, I need to rub out, I have to do that. Okay, let's select that and let's rub that out. And then I want to do something else like that. So that takes some time. So there's actually keyboard shortcuts for these. So if you see these changing without me tapping up here, that means I'm basically pressing B for brush or E for eraser. So that's how I switch between them quickly. Z for zoom is a useful one, and spacebar for shifting around like this. Those are the four I use a lot. Obviously stuff like Control S is self-explanatory, Control Z. So yes, let's get in with the brush. So there's brush, and then Alt. Holding Alt on the brush means you get on the color eyedropper, and that's really useful. And I've forgotten the chat apparently. Froosty's in the chat. Hello, Froosty. Panda Gentleman saying, if Smeagol isn't in the game, then all this work is for nothing. He could be a spy. That's a good point. Yeah. And Elegy saying, yeah, the links to my art accounts on Instagram and stuff are there as well, if you'd like to check that out, if you'd like to see more of my own art. Starfinch, howdy everyone. Hello. And Hurin, oh no, I'm late. You're not very late. We've only just started, don't worry. And hello to all, Frosty. Hi, Frosty. So yes, so anyone who's just joined, we're doing a kind of tutorial, a sort of guide, an explanation on how I go about drawing, just a basic sort of thing. So I'm using my drawing pads and sort of quite light strokes. I'm not trying to be quite very precise. I'm just sort of being relaxed hand and stuff. And that's really the answer. I mean, it's the same with any drawing. You know, if you're relaxed, then it always looks smoother and more lifelike. And so, of course, I forgot to explain up here is you've got your size of the brush and then your opacity. And opacity basically means the transparency. So if you want to build up layers and build up, you know, shading and that kind of look, then you want to go a lower opacity. But at the moment, I'm just blocking things out, so I'm going to go with 100%. And Danny's here, and Mega Maga Strelok. Hello. Hello to you. A Huron is never late, nor is he early. He arrives precisely when he means to. You couldn't say it better, Holy Knight. You couldn't say it better. So as you saw there, I just used the colour, the eyedropper tool, to select that kind of wicker brown that we have on the other concepts. And yeah, by the way, I'm sorry, I didn't say, these guys are Harad's tier 3. So these guys are your mainline sword and board, infantry and spearmen that you'll be seeing. This guy isn't here because he's from an older concept. I'm just using him as sort of colour reference, basically. So he's a tier 2. So these guys are the guys you see in the film, and then these guys are the ones we're having to make up. We're having to make up this look based off what we see in the films, which is it's a fun challenge. Danny saying that is a nice quote. That is a beautiful quote. Panda saying my art style is awesome and you love it. Thank you very much. Thank you. That means a lot, really. All your nice words for any of us modders is a huge motivator, because obviously modding is free. You have to be, especially something like this, which is a licensed, copyrighted material. You have to be really careful what you can do and what you can't do. So we're staying away from money as a whole, because that's just risky. So your support is basically the best thing you could give us. How long are we planning stream? How long am I planning stream for today? 2 hours. I like to stick to 2 hours. And we're going to give him a. And by the way, of course, any of you have any suggestions, regarding the design, because basically I'm making this up. I've done this rough sketch, but I'm making it up mostly on the spot, which didn't go well before, but hopefully this time I've got things a bit sorted in my head, so that should work out. But since you guys know the sort of style I'm working with, do give me your ideas and your feedback, because that's really, really appreciated. You guys have had some really good ideas in the past for the other designs I've done. So this is a kind of, basically I'm not giving these guys a full solid bronze, because that just doesn't feel like that's their style. So I'm giving them a quite lamellar, slightly roped together look. That obviously these guys need to look a lot more professional, because these guys are the main line infantry. But I still think they should have that quite nomadic. You know what I mean by what I'm saying. They won't ever compare to Gondor, and they need to. They're not the same as those beautiful Gondor infantry that we see. So they need to show that. Holy Plague Knight, his art style isn't awesome, it's breathtaking. Thank you. Massey Ferguson, thank you as well. And Cohen, thank you. Lots of nice words, thank you very much. Simon Austin, do you know when the official campaign will come out? The official campaign is being worked on, but it takes time, I'm afraid. There is a light at the end of the tunnel, but you shouldn't expect it soon, because it is still. If you look at the campaign streams, there's two sides to the campaign. There's the visual side and then the AI side, and both are being worked on, but they still need quite a lot of development. And then of course there's all the kinds of, the what they're called, the settlements, the models that you see on the campaign map that need to be made, and the architecture and battle maps and stuff. So there's a lot to go, but it's being, work is being done. And so, sorry, to go back to sort of tutorial here. Up here, of course, is color, and these are your recent colors, which is something really, really helpful. And as you notice, I'm still on the 100% opacity, but I'm using Alt a lot, so I'm constantly jumping between colors, and you get the color wheel when you do Alt, which is nice. So it probably looks like I'm working really fast for people who aren't so familiar. There's 40 of you watching, so so for anyone who's just joined, we're doing a kind of a little bit less hectic, I guess, kind of tutorial focus stream, just because a few people have approached me now actually in the past few weeks asking for how I do these, how to draw on Photoshop. So I'm giving them hopefully an adequate basic tutorial. Hopefully just by looking you can pick things up and get familiar as well. But I think it's good for you as viewers to sort of understand what I'm doing, because otherwise it looks all quite alien. And 48. Okay, we've jumped up to 50 viewers. So these are Harad's tier 3. And sorry, I'm neglecting the chat again. Turkey 15th age, so 15th century Turkey. Yeah, indeed, that is an inspiration. I should find some images actually to display up here, because that will be helpful for you guys to see what I'm thinking. The campaign is far from out. Fruity, of course, with different caps. The current date isn't really next. Yes, we try and stay away from release dates with modding, because things could happen and you'd be disappointed. Matthew Ferguson, your phone's about to die. See you guys later. Great work, Rise of Mordor team. Thank you. Shame about the phone, but thank you for stopping by. How come you're so precise with the colours? Elegy asking. Looks like it doesn't go over the line. What do you mean by that? In terms of the control, you mean the control with the pen? Getting sort of, because at the moment my drawing pad's on my lap, and then I'm looking at my screen in front of me, so it's a bit weird at first, because obviously if you've drawn in real life, you're used to looking at your paper. But now I'm doing digital. I'm drawing on my lap, but I'm looking at my screen, which feels quite weird at first. But once you're familiar with it, it just becomes second nature. So it takes time, Melody. Holy Knight saying, hope the phone will charge so fast that you can join in again. Yeah, you might catch it. It'd be good to see you back. Elegy, Myron is a magician of art, and magicians never reveal his secrets. I'm revealing them now. There are no secrets. The secret many people don't like hearing is it takes time. There's not such a thing. I don't believe there's such a thing as talent, personally. Load of rubbish. If you work hard enough, you'll always get it. Perhaps not with everything in life, but especially art. The only thing that will get you anywhere is practice. You could be great and not practice, and then you'll just fall behind. Bugrilus. Bugrilus, am I saying that right? Yeah. Hi. Holy Knight would like to know the secrets too. I'm hopefully giving these secrets. You guess you were wrong. I'm not a magician of art. I'm a wizard teaching my younglings. Oh. No, I'm by no means a master. I must highly emphasize that I am still very much learning myself. I think it's a really good. Oh, what? Yeah, okay. It's a good thing to be aware of what you're good at and what you're bad at, or what you struggle with, because that really helps you improve. That helps you understand what you should work on next. And of course, yeah, since this is a kind of tutorial, do ask me any kind of questions you want about what I'm doing here and how I do this, how I do that. Taiki ZA, in general, how long will it take you to complete one guide to 100%? I'd say about 8 hours. It's yeah, I'd say something like that. So the single character concepts I do are always such a nice concept, because I can sometimes get them done in one day. It just feels very good to get a concept done. Start in the morning, work on it over the day, and then finish it at night. It's a really great feeling. But alas, now I've sort of tried to step up the game and improve the quality. But improving the quality and the amount of figures and stuff always ends up meaning it takes more time, sadly. Jasper asking, what kind of hardware are you using exactly for these drawings? I'm using Photoshop. That's not hardware, is it? Gosh, sorry. Hardware. It's called a Wacom Intuos drawing tablet, and it's a really quite affordable one. It cost me £50, and I've had it for 3 years now. I think 4 years, and it's served me really well, even though it's quite low down on the what's it called, the price range. You can get some really fancy drawing tablets with like a screen on them. That means you don't have to draw on your lap and look at your screen. That means you can actually look at the screen while your pen is drawing. Holy Plague Knight, a master can always learn from his pupils too. That is a very good point. That is very true. No, I mean, it's an honour that some of you might look up to me, but I look up to other artists as well. The most recent addition to that list is Haganaz, basically our man of many talents, who's quite a recent member of the team, but he can make UI. He made the UI for the update. Now he's working on the Goblins of Moria 3D modelling, and he can bang out incredible 2D art pieces. And that's just 3 out of a long list of all the skills he can do. So that man has my ultimate respect. Truly one of the true artists that I know. So I'm honoured to work with him. So I still look up to people as well. Ivar, hi Myron, back again I see. Keep up the great work. Thank you, Maestro. Maestro is our musical maestro. Is that name because of the music, or is that just a happy coincidence? But yeah, Maestro did our music for the recent update, which I'm sure all of you enjoyed. It sounds brilliant with the Lord of the Rings music now. And he's our head of balancing and campaign, mechanics and all that good fun stuff. So, and he's recently been working with J Monster on our campaign faction overviews. So, and do keep an eye out for the next one coming soon, by the way. Fingers Magnificent, I'm bad at drawing overall. I don't know where I should begin to practice. There's so many tutorials online for basic drawing and stuff. It does just take time. You can. When I've been drawing since I was like 3 years old, I think. So it takes that long, maybe. But because I'm 20 now. But I don't know. It's a matter of how quick you are to pick it up. Even if you're slow to pick it up, if you put in the hours, you'll always get there. That's the beautiful thing about it. Taiki ZA, a question. Linden Shipwright Nobles, are they done or are they going to be re-edited? They're in game though, aren't they? They are in game. I believe they're done. I mean, they look beautiful, in my opinion. Let's give them some plates on these sort of shoulder pads. And I still, as you can see, I still have a fairly big brush here. I'm not being too precise about details at all. And when you're in the beginning stages of a piece, what beginners do is they sort of zoom in. So they do this. And it's not, if you have a good idea of what you're doing, then it's fine. But, the big problem you're facing here now is you can't see what the rest of the piece is. Ignore, you have a little navigator panel down here. But otherwise, so if you're working really hard on the details, it's sometimes what happens with faces. They would zoom right into like this. And they work on that eye to, meticulous detail. And then when they zoom out, it just looks completely wonky or off because they haven't been looking at the overall composition. So stuff like that. You need to. Again, that comes with time and experience. But yeah, like I was saying, beginning stages, I try and stay zoomed out as much as I can. And the chat's gone wild again. Haganaz, the jack of all trades. Jack of all trades means he's sort of okay at everything. Haganaz is a master of all trades. Fingers McNippleson, I just started as well. You bought the same tablet as Myron's, thanks to his advice. Yeah, Elegies are my newest student, so to say. And yeah, it's really good to see so much enthusiasm from people like him. It's great to see. Jasper, so a drawing pad with a screen would be basically like a tablet iPad for drawing. Yeah. They are quite expensive though. You know, once you get into that, you're looking at maybe 800 quid, 800 pounds. I'm not sure what that is in your currencies. Sort of, you know, that might be, you know, up to $1,000 euros. Ivar, I don't do coincidences. I'm a musician, remember, hence the name. I thought so. I needed to double check. I do play French horn, yes. I've been giving it a rest recently. I play French horn, cello, and a little bit of piano and guitar. Elegy saying, Ivar the maestro himself, the lord of the law. Maestro is I completely forgot to say that Maestro is, yes, he's our resident law master, as well as being all the campaign stuff and the music stuff. Maestro plays the trombone. So we are brass brothers. Buongiorno, Buongiorno, Elegy, yeah. Buonasera. Buonasera. Sorry, I'm terrible with languages. Yeah. Bugrilius. I'm sorry. The names. The chat's far away from me, so I'm trying. I can zoom in on the chat. I didn't know I could zoom in on the chat. Oh no, I can't. Shame. Oh, I can. Oh, brilliant. Sorry, you're just listening to me fumble around with technology because I'm terrible at it. Bugrilius. So this is. Do you do this improvised right now, or have you got a clear idea from the start? Well, I had a sketch. You know, that's all I had. And in the past, when I've done stuff improvised on stream, it, you know, there's more pressure, I guess, and there's more happening. It's not, my attention isn't fully given to this art, so sometimes things go wrong. But hopefully, this one can go okay. We're not doing anything too complicated after all. Energy saying when you said about noobs zooming in. Yeah. No, I mean, I like to think I'm not such a noob with Photoshop, but when it comes to any kind of technology, downloading the mod, for instance, I just fall to pieces. I struggled so much downloading the mod. I've got it working now, but that was quite painful. Ivar saying cello. Yes, I do play the. So you're a scratcher as well as a musician. Interesting. Yeah, no, cello's my main instrument. I played cello since 2012, I think. That's good fun, that one. And Panda Gentleman saying, what's your favourite faction in Rise of Mordor? My favourite faction overall would be the Reforged Realm of Arnor. But in-game at the moment, I'd say Gondor, just because they look beautiful. I think Arnor is a better Gondor. I loved it. I mean, Empremi's work on Dale's models is just stunning. And, you know, I mean, all the models are stunning, but I mean, I especially like Dale's models and Manu's Wooden Realm models. They are just so beautiful. Do bear with me a second. Apologies, right. Zahn saying, I can see that I am the only one learning new stuff. You're not the only one. You're not the only one learning new stuff. Oh, that's good to hear. So it's good to hear that you all are understanding what I'm doing a bit more. So I'm basically just blocking out the thing. So, and the thing is, I'm basically doing a really, really rough version of the concept. So at the moment, it's really basic. No details, quite messy. So this is just for me to block out the ideas and get a good idea of what it's going to look like when I do more detail. But I forgot what I was going to say. Sorry, completely forgot what I was going to say. Oh yeah, that was it. So stuff with shadows and lighting. So as you can see, I'm already putting in the lighting and the way the bronze is reflecting so the light's sort of mainly coming down from here this way. There's no light. This is all shadow over here. And saving often as well is a good idea in case things crash. But yeah, so basically lighting is a tricky one. And it can only really come over time. So as you draw more, you'll slowly understand how lighting interacts with things and how shadows work and different sort of tones and things. So that really, unfortunately, does only come up with time and practice. But when you do pick things up like that, it feels really, really quite good. And apologies with the chat. Any questions you ask, I will get to them. I just mean, I don't know what I just said there. I will get to your questions. I just slowly lagging behind a little bit, but I will answer them if moderators haven't already. Oh, Zahn is our Discord's most recent acquisition. Very active. Oh, good to hear. Good to hear. There's new fans around. Bugrilius. Thank you. You said the name correct. Good to hear. So anyone who is new, our Discord links and everything is in the description below. And they should be fixed now, so that's good if you want to find out more about the project. Ellie's just saying he meant that. Oh, you were the noob zooming in. I think you've been doing that all day. Yes, I mean when you are drawing it, it's more of like you don't want to be too precise about things, really. It's all about being sort of relaxed and just being quite rough, actually, being quite vague. And then when it comes to once you've got your things, you can start zooming in and doing all these little details like that. But I mean, as you can see, maybe here and stuff, it's all pretty rough. Stuff that isn't highly detailed or doesn't really need to be there, you don't need to spend too long on it. Only spend time on the things. Only spend time on the things that actually, needs to be done. Ivar, so the reason you only came to me about music in DM the other day was because it took you 2 months to install the mod. No, I only just recently got a PC that was capable of playing the game. I built it myself, and surprisingly nothing went wrong, which is crazy for me. I mean, I thought things will be blowing up, to be honest. I mean, so I'm glad I can finally play now. So that's good feeling. Frusty coming with the Baruch Khazad. Even though these guys are possibly as far away from Erebor as they can be, they shall still hear the wrath of the dwarves. Ivar, how's the Mansion Reclaimers going? To Frusty. Frusty did a great stream the other day on the Mansion Reclaimers, which is the final unit, I think. The very last one for. Oh no, it's okay. There's one more. There's a couple more. and that you'll see him stream tomorrow. So do look out for Froosty's stream for the Oricani Archers, or the Oricani Warriors, tomorrow. The Dwarves of the Red Mountains. But yeah, Froosty is close to finishing the Dwarven roster, which is very exciting stuff. And as you can see, with cloth as well, so I was saying about lighting, but cloth is also something that takes time to master. That's me saying I'm not a master at all. Because it is a crazy weird thing. It's like same with water, same with everything natural that isn't uniform really. It's hard to get things looking perfectly realistic like cloth without huge amounts of studying. Easy man, Dwarf King in chat. Froosty is the Dwarf King, absolutely. Hurin, Harad one of the out of favour factions in Lord of the Rings mods. I think the Arabic and Turkish vibe. Oh, and I've just lost your comment because the chat updated. The Arabic and Turkish vibe, not enough to make a faction roster interesting. Hope you can add some different units and make them exciting to play. Hopefully we will, yeah. I'm trying to go for a kind of, slightly fantasy but slightly historically accurate look. So yeah, hopefully my concepts end up looking good in game, and the mechanics that Maestro comes up with make them fun to play as well. All shall be revealed in the Harad faction overview. I don't think that one's planned anytime soon, but when that one comes out, you'll see all the campaign stuff that's planned for them. Now, I was considering in the design, by the way, I was considering giving them kind of tassets, almost like medieval European tassets like this. And I don't know what you think about that. To be honest, I mean, something similar to that. I quite like the idea of having a sort of solid plate there, because these other two variations these are going to be scales, and these are, I don't know, those things, I don't know what they are, just rings of metal. That's a design from the film, so we're keeping that one. Oh, and I am completely forgetting the chat again. Ragnarok IV, thank you for stopping by. Also, will the Serpent Venom, the Axe Infantry, have this design, or will they be different? Serpent's Venom are a sort of stealthy assassin unit, so they'll only be wearing cloth. So they get their own design. Joe Schnatz, Froosty, can you show us them in-game preview? Tomorrow, yeah, Froosty is streaming tomorrow. 8-hour stream, did you say? Is that a spoiler or anything? But I think you're in for a long one for tomorrow. Easy Man is very glad that Froosty's streaming. High on T's in the chat. Hello, High on T. Oh, what have I done? Speech reckon. Okay, that's not what I want really at the moment. That's not going to help me draw. Go away. And basically, yeah. So I've Maestro saying that finishes the dwarves. Yes. The Oricani Warriors is the last unit Froosty has to make, so that is really that basically is a sign that the update is coming soon. But like I said earlier, we're not giving any dates with updates, because obviously, if we fail to miss it, then you end up being disappointed, and that just doesn't. It's best that we spring them on you unawares. Joe Schnatz and Myron, can you show us what Froosty will work on tomorrow? Froosty will work on, let me find the concept. Oh, it's not here. Let me have a look. Oh gosh. Here we go. Mansion Reclaimers. Oh no, they're not. Sorry, apology. That's what Froosty was working on a few days ago. I don't have the concept for the Oricani Warriors. I saw Edred's thing earlier. He sent me a picture of what it's looking like. It's basically the Dwarven style combined with a Middle Eastern style, and it's looking really cool. Sorry, I thought thought you were doing the mansion reclaimers there for a second. Sorry, Fruity. The Horse Lord. Yeah, High Auntie is the Horse Lord. He's working on Rohan. Taiki ZA, what do you mean the Discord link should be working? Did something go wrong with it? Yeah, Discord links tend to just stop working sometimes, but it should be fixed now. It's an issue with copying, pasting links, yeah. Hi Auntie, good God. You have packed these concepts with details. Makes me want to quit Rohan and work on Harad instead. Well, I mean, there's no one working on Harad actually at the moment. So, I mean, if you are up for Harad after this, it'd be a pleasure to work with you again. The Rohan concepts I did were fairly early when I joined, so unfortunately, I was more interested in churning them out as opposed to, spending a long time on the details, which is something I've changed now. But yeah, that'd be cool, Hi Auntie. What's everyone saying? Oh yeah, Taiki ZA was saying I was getting worried because the link is in all my Rise of Mordor videos. I don't know, it might be okay. I mean, it's good to just occasionally check it, I think. Do check out Taiki's channel, Taiki's Rise of Mordor YouTube channel. There's some good stuff on there. Yep, 8 hours tomorrow, Frosty saying. Incredible. I don't know how he does it. It's an absolute soldier of a modeler. Incredible. And let's just give him a block of... They have weird ornamentation, but let's just put maybe one there and then one there. Thing about these guys, actually, I've just realised. So these tier 2 guys have a few bits of jade, on their thing. But I'm thinking for these guys, they're more wealthy. They must be more wealthy. So I'm going to give them more ornaments and maybe some other stuff. Just to make, illustrate the fact that they are much more elite. Well, quite a bit more elite than tier 2. Plates for both his hips sound cool. Hey Myron, do you like how the dwarves look? I do like how the dwarves look, very much so. Especially since I designed half of them. But yeah, I'm happy with that. I really like the Mansion Reclaimers concept and the Tomb Wardens. Even though Tomb Wardens is fairly, most of it's taken from films and, thrown together and mashed up and stuff. But I'm happy with them, yeah. Nothing on Arnor, Frosty, I'm afraid. Arnor is the king. Taiki ZA, remember they are also in trade with Mordor, so it makes sense that they adopt some of their armour as well. That's true, that's very true. I think we might include some Sauron eye banners, I guess. I might try and model that off that. So that hand guard sort of comes down like that. Okay. Comes down like that and then is a wide thing like that. So that could be that area there. And then that ends up looking a bit like that. No, that's wrong. Okay, something like that. I don't know. I think that's okay. I like that. They do have, some kind of plate. I want the Serpent Guard to be, which is the tier 4 unit. They're going to be like a even more elite unit looking unit than this. And I might include some silver, iron, because obviously iron's a better protector than bronze. So I assume that if all they have is bronze, then iron is going to be more valuable and prestigious. So the tier 4s might well be in silver. Oh, that's pressing V is for the select. This move tool, which is also useful when you want to adjust things. So basically my hand's never leaving the keyboard. I've got, one hand on my drawing pad, and one hand on the keyboard, just always issuing these controls, because the keyboard shortcuts are just so much easier than having to use these tools, having to switch between this. Every time you want to select a colour, imagine having to do that, selecting the colour, then having to go back, and then drawing again, when you could just do that. Press Alt and you've got it. Super useful. Anyway, the chat. I'm forgetting the chat. Joe Schnatz, any idea when Aldur is back? Aldur is currently snowed in with work at the moment, but I don't know, to be honest. You'll just have to wait and hope for the best. But he will be back. Begrilius, will you consider tossing in some lighter colours like beige besides red, since these guys are under the sun and they come from a hot place? Yeah, good point. It's weird. I mean, it's obviously, okay, it's a movie design. Harad, when Peter Jackson's team designed them, they wouldn't be thinking too much about that kind of stuff. But it's a weird thought that actually, I mean, some people in hot countries wear white, but a lot of people wear black, which is a bizarre thought to me, because I mean, obviously black absorbs the heat. So I'm confused as to why so many people wear black. If any of you know the reason, then that'd be really cool to know. And we're going to give him a turban, not turban, sort of headscarf thing again. And this time it's not going to be. This is the tier 2 headscarf, basically just cloth. But this one I'm going to they're going to be sewn in plates of bronze. And well, I'm pressing spacebar by accident. So the skin here is pretty dark red, as you'll notice, and a lot of people don't realise. But when skin is in shadow, it doesn't go black. It doesn't sort of go. If this is your skin colour up here, if you just move it down a bit, this isn't what shadow skin looks like. It's actually quite red, because obviously the blood in your skin is shining through, because your skin's slightly transparent, so that's why it's such a dark red. What's people saying? The dwarfs are kings for Holy Plague Night. Well, Arnor shall always be the kings for me, I'm afraid. Hansi, have you considered a linothorax style armour? Bone-coloured thorax plus... Ooh, that is a word that I have not come across with. Terouges? With those metal rings might look fitting. I'm not sure what you mean. I'm not quite sure what you mean by that. I'm sorry, I'm not an expert in armour that isn't from Europe. Zarn 13, since you mentioned looking more wealthy, the third one, the newest one, could have an insignia on the a snake on the hip plates. Great idea, really good idea. And that's that'll make them fit much more into the style, I think. Thanks for the suggestion. Elegy 3, how did you erase the black of the plate without erasing the red underneath? Black of the plate without raising the red underneath. Well, I mean, sure, I should have covered layers before this, but layers are down here, and layers are really good because they basically mean that I can draw over and under things. So these three figures are on a separate layer to this guy. They're on a higher layer, so basically anything I draw is underneath them. Whereas if I do on this, drawing over this guy won't actually draw over him because he's on a separate layer. So layers are really good. They can become confusing. So sometimes I end up drawing on the concept base, which is a terrible shame because then I have to do stuff. So I always lock that layer. So it means if I try and draw on it now... Oh, what the hell is that? No, we don't want to do that. But it shouldn't. That shouldn't be working. Could not use the brush tool because the target layer is hidden. Okay. Sorry. Okay, there we go. There's the message I wanted. The layer is locked, so I can't draw on it now because it's locked. So layers are good to learn early on because I didn't learn that and I'm struggling. But how did I erase the black? It's on the same layer, so it must be just down to me having more precision and stuff, I guess. It's all about, experience and stuff with this. The longer you do it, the more, the easier it becomes, really. At first, it was a real struggle trying to understand how on earth, how do you get the brush and stuff to work, and how do you get all this precision and stuff. But it all comes with time. So hang in there. And 56 of you watching, welcome to anyone who's new. Our social media and stuff is in the description below, so if you want to find out more about the project, do have a look. We have all our recent previews and our announcements and competitions and tournaments there, so do check that out. I also have my own art accounts there if you'd like to see more of my work. Fruity Myron, are these guys all from the tier 3 main Harad tribe? Yes, these guys are the basic, train everywhere troops. We have several sort of sub-tribes of Harad, them being the Muhad and then Umbar as a separate tribe. Those are the only two at the moment, but maybe it'll change, you never know. But that's what we have at the moment. So basically these guys will be trained everywhere, and the other ones will be basically probably area of recruitment, and also rewards for uniting the tribes is the basic thing of the campaign. Old fish lips, will Mumakil concept art ever be shown? Well, the thing is, with designs we have from the movies, there isn't such a demand for concept art because you have better than a concept art in that you've got a real life picture of it, and there's lots of reference for Mumakil, so I'm not sure we'll even ever bother with a Mumakil concept, and we've got the Weta official concepts as well anyway to work off. Haunty chooses. Let's just have a look at them. The image isn't loading, sadly. Let me just have a look bear with me a second. How do you spell that thing? Pter Rouge. Pter Rouge. Is that the sort of skirt with the strips of leather? The strips of leather coming round. Yes, yeah. So that's something I should have known. Yeah, that's a good idea. I mean, I guess these are kind of similar in that they're sort of hanging down. That might be something I try out with the tier 2s, or with the tier 4. That might make them look really elite. The Serpent Guard. Case looking grand, Myron. Thank you very much, Case. Case is one of our developers. Anyone with a spanner next to their name is either a developer or a moderator on our Discord. So any questions you have that I don't get to in time, do look out, because they may well answer them as well before I get to them. And Joe Schnatz, hi Auntie, how goes Rohan? How does go Rohan, hi Auntie? Well, unfortunately, we're not really talking about Rohan, I'm afraid. Rohan is a... I mean, work is happening, but it's slow, because Harnty is an excellent modeler. Only the best is good enough with Harnty, so obviously things like that really take time. So do stay hyped. The horse lords shall ride again soon. Shall ride once more to glory. But until that day, we must wait patiently. Anyway, Taiki ZA, all these pings, my poor PC is getting confused thinking it's him pinging. Who is pinging? I am not sure who you're talking to there. The impressive Marcus Newman. It is Muhad. It is spelled Mahud on the Rise of Mordor trailer page. Is it? Okay. Well, I've always thought that the... I mean, I based it off the Divide and Conquer, or Third Age, I'm not sure what it is. They have them as Muhad, as far as I know. Oh, okay, if it's Mahud, then... I don't know. I like Muhad better. Muhad feels like you could bang your chest and shout Muhad, Muhad. It just doesn't sound as good as Mahud, in my opinion. Because the Muhad tribe are they're the sort of berserker, crazy berserkers that you see not driving, but leading the Muma kill. So I don't know. I would argue that Muhad sounds far better. But it's down to Maestro though. Maestro is the guy that decides all that stuff. Siraki Mavs, hello. Good to see so many familiar faces, folks. And Harnty, all I can say is that Rohirrim are mustering. Rohirrim are indeed mustering. So I haven't been giving you any idea of the tutorial stuff, but it's all fairly similar to what I was explaining before. Now, of course, you'll notice I had the sketch from the beginning, so I did that off camera, just because figures are fiendishly tricky, I have to say. It's not something that comes quickly, and I'm still really working on it, because it's not something that I can do perfectly at all by any means. Getting it's all about proportion and getting the expression right and the face and the movement, but also making them look real and fluid and not stiff, so there's a huge amount of challenges with figure drawing. But if you put in the hours, you'll always get there. That's the beautiful thing about art. Begrilius, Mahout comes from Indian. It's the word for elephant riders. Oh, right. Well, in that case, that's a good argument for the other saying Mahud instead of Muhad. Edred, hello. Hello, Edred. Edred is my fellow concept artist, who is currently working on the Oricani Tier 3 unit that you're going to see in Froosty's stream tomorrow. Good to see you. Alright, so I want to make this turban look slightly more elite by adding a rim of copper plates, bronze plates that have been sort of sewn onto the helmet. It's a tricky thing with concept art where you have an existing style. In our case, this is Harad, and then the faction needs fleshing out and stuff. So, it's a tricky thing sometimes. You'd think that it's easy to work in a style with rules, because obviously this is the guy we see in the films. But that's all we see. We don't see any elites in the films. So basically, we have to make our own, but keep that same style, which is working with a set of rules, I'd argue is actually harder but more of a fun challenge. For me personally, as an artist, coming up with these cool designs, having to stick within the box is good. And what people are saying, apologies, I keep having to neglect the chat while I concentrate. But Thor Holding, cool name. What drawing program are you using? I'm using Photoshop. Photoshop, of course, is for much more than drawing. You could do everything in Photoshop. Obviously, photo editing being the primary thing, but of course they have the drawing features and all that good stuff. Another cool thing I use, by the way, which I didn't show, is this fill bucket, and that's not the default one. The default thing, I'm struggling to get that, is the gradient tool that you'll see. But if you long press that, you'll get the paint bucket tool, which is really cool for just filling an enclosed ring like that. That's really good for, when you're in the basic stages fleshing things out. Anyway, on with this. And Edred saying, great work on the Harad guys so far. Thank you very much, Edred. Good to see the support of the rest of the art department. Although Haganaz is another artist that I was heavily praising earlier. Incredible guy. All these other guys have the hand protection. Let's give him just a couple of plates, just for the sake of variation. Obviously, these guys look more elite, but I still want them to look varied, because having uniformity in the unit is a good sign of professionalism. So obviously, Gondor has a heavily, they've got a uniform. Everyone looks the same and it looks really beautiful and professional. But then someone like Mordor or Rohan, or Harad in our case, they don't have as much organisation. So even the elite units have some kind of variation in them. So that's what I'm trying to capture here. So they still look good, but they look varied. What people saying again? Albi Linda, are you just doing Horan or others? I assume you mean Harad. Today I'm probably just going to do Harad, unless there's an overwhelming... last stream there was an overwhelming storm of Baruch Hazads that made me end up doing the Dwarven concept. But Dwarven concepts are actually, at my end anyway, they're all done. For Erebor anyway. So Dwarven concepts, unfortunately, you won't be seeing very many more of them. Unless we decide to do Ered Luin now, but that's not high on our list of priorities, I'm afraid, at the moment. For you Dwarven fans, unfortunately, you're going to have to wait a little bit for that. But don't worry, Erebor is coming soon, so you can look forward to that. Anyway, Photoshop is not free. No, I'm having to pay a lot for this. I pay for it because it's something I use all day. 6 to 8 hours a day maybe on a good day when I'm having fun. And I'm on a gap here right now, so I have lots of free time. But yeah, Photoshop. I think it's I'm paying for Creative Cloud. You pay, I think it's £16 a month. And luckily, I've got that covered by... I work with a YouTuber who gives me some of their Patreon for doing illustrations and stuff. So that covers it. So it's not eating into me or anything. If you can get it for free somewhere, I can't guarantee it'll be safe or anything. But it is quite overpriced, I have to say. So it's understandable why you might choose that. Hurin. Oh yeah, also you can get a free trial with Photoshop, just a 30-day free trial to see what you think of it. And if you really like it, yeah, that's great. Hurin saying, if you'd like to hear some ideas for some Harad Elite units, golden plate looks nice with fur shoulders, like a golden lion fur. and you can use jewels in armor that was pretty common in Islamic nations. Great idea. Really, really good idea. I was thinking, something along the lines of basically golden armor like this, or golden and possibly silver armor as well, because I mean, iron is a more valuable resource in the desert. For these guys anyway, iron probably seemed like a more valuable resource. But yeah, fur, leopard skins, maybe. Leopard skin would look really, really cool. That would be, great ideas. Hopefully this guy, I think this guy looks fairly, I mean, that looks a bit like a crown. I want to avoid that. Maybe if we get rid of the ones on the side, so he only has 4. If we give him 4 plates, then it won't look as like he's wearing some kind of weird crown around the whole of his head. And of course these would be sort of jankily sewn on, so they're, nothing's, just to illustrate again, even though they look professional, they're still sort of a bit cobbled together. And I appreciate that this is still quite basic. I could rush forward into detail, but I want to take my time with this. Because if you rush, it always shows if you rush. Anyway, what are people saying? Impressive Marcus Newman. I personally prefer Muhad as well, but that's probably down to Third Age and Divide and Conquer. It feels strange to say Mahud. Agreed, that's what I thought. It's weird that, I mean, Divide and Conquer and stuff chose to go with Muhad. So that's something I know, I'm quite familiar with. So that feels weird to say Mahud. But yeah, it's up to Maestro, whatever he decides. Albi Linda saying they look amazing. Thank you. Thank you. And yeah, to anyone new who's joined, 58 of you. I'll link to our social media, Discord, ModDB. It's all in the description below. As well as my own art. If you'd like to see more of my art on Instagram and stuff, then my links are there as well. And what are people saying? Thor Holting, can you recommend some free programs? I've heard of GIMP. It's a funny name, but GIMP is, as far as I know, it's free. But I'm not sure you can do. I'm not entirely sure of what the features are. But I have sort of jumped straight to Photoshop, so I didn't actually bother looking for free software. Unfortunately, free software is only usually ever open source stuff. So Blender is the big one. Blender is a 3D modeling software that's free, completely free, because it's open source. I'm not sure there are any mainstream art software that are open source, unfortunately. So I'm not sure. Have a look around. I'm sure there's stuff on the internet, stuff like that. Zan13, he kind of looked like some kind of Prince Royal Guard with that crown-looking plates at his head. Yeah, that's what I thought. I wanted to avoid that. McQueenie, they're all looking great, man. Would love to see some more shield designs. Shield designs is something I will get to, yes. At the moment, I've got this, for the tier 2, I've got this kind of skin shield, but I want to do a kind of heavier wicker shield with bronze plates and stuff. That'll be, That's something I will do in future. Josh, thanks for stopping by, man. Thank you. GIMP is a funny name. Why would you name your software GIMP? It's a I don't know. Some people are weird. Edred, there's Critter as well. Yes, I've heard of that. I have heard of Critter. I think I must have had it back in the day. Yes, I do have it on my laptop. I remember it being it must have been slightly janky or something. Of course, yeah, Photoshop is the best because I mean, you're paying for it, but it's you're paying for it. That's the message. So even though it costs money, you are getting really, really good software. There's they're not taking shortcuts. They're actually putting a lot of effort into the design and the features and stuff. So yeah, GIMP is a bit naff. Josh is my friend from school, by the way, and he's Yeah, GIMP. I don't know. I've never used GIMP, man, so I don't know. Thor Holting, what is open source? Open source. I'm not actually sure what open source means. To be honest, because all I know is that open source means that the software is free. So Blender is free. There's a music writing app that I have called MuseScore. That's free. Because they're open source, but I don't know what that means. No. B33 Mac. GIMP is a watered down version of Photoshop. Yes, yeah. Just a copy and paste of Photoshop's features, but slightly shitter, I think, is the definition for that. Fingus McNippleson. Ered Luin is probably the lowest priority list. Yeah, I'm afraid so. Ered Luin, unfortunately for you Dwarven fans, is really low on the list. Just because, I mean, at the moment there's no demand for it. Because, from a campaign perspective, what are they going to do? They're going to sit on the edge of the map with no enemies at all surrounding them. Which, that I know in Divide and Conquer and stuff they have Angmar to fight, but we don't have Angmar. We the closest enemy they're going to have is either Gundabad or the Orcs of the Misty Mountains, I guess, which is a huge amount away. So we don't know about what we're going to do yet. Fingus Nicholson was lagging 10 minutes. That's also me being incredibly bad at keeping up with the chat. So the chat sometimes just goes off on a storm, and I'm left, 20 messages behind, trying desperately to answer you all. But I will get there. Don't worry. Kalen Mates, in my experience, Paint/Net is pretty good. I have no experience with that, but if that's good, if that works, then great. Frusty, justice to Ered Lewin. Frusty, Frusty is our Dwarven modeler. For anyone who doesn't know, which is probably no one. Big Dwarven fan. Sorry to disappoint. Albie Linda, what's your favourite race of dwarves, elves, or men? What's my favourite race? I like men. There's so much more variation in them. Elves are just kind of pretty archery, sword guys. Don't get me wrong, they're all very, very cool. Completely agree that they're all very cool. And dwarves are, your bearded axe guys, but men, there's so many different variations of them. You got the evil men, the Haradrim, the runic clans, but then you got Dale, Gondor, Rohan, the Dunedain. Brilliant. There's so much variation there. Keeps things entertaining when I'm drawing concepts, because it can get quite boring designing, elf unit after elf unit, because they all kind of look the same, Whereas if I jump from a Haradrim concept to an Arnor concept, they all look different. It's brilliant. Energy saying, Frusty, the evil factions need your dedication. Yes, it would be really cool to see some work on the Goblins of Moria. That would be cool. Fingus McNippleson, MuseScore is a very nice program. It is. It's great, isn't it? I mean, I use it so much. It's a free software for writing. If any of you actually write sort of classical style music, but I do that, yeah. So yeah, that is great that there's such a. I think Blender and MuseScore, it's great that they're free, really. Lemonade. Open source means that the source code is open to anyone, and therefore anyone can create a new copy to edit it and modify it, so it's free. Oh, I see. Okay. Suzu30, welcome. Zan13, do you think it would perhaps look nice with a Kula Kud helmet and the front decorative piece with the snake or something, symbolic to the faction? I'm not sure what a Kula Kud helmet is. If you could send me some pictures over Discord. My name's Myron, Maeron. I'm the guy who posts all the concept art in the previews channel. If you could send me all your reference photos over on Discord, that'd be really, really helpful. Then I could look at them after the stream and we can have a chat about that. It's great to hear all your feedback. And I understand we haven't really done much in this stream other than do the basics. We've still got an hour or so left though. But And what people saying. McQueenie, is Gundabad going to be its own faction? Yes, it is. And Albi Linda, are you planning to make the realm of Moria, I think is what you mean. Moria, yes, it is. Oh, Elegy's answered there. The Trello board, yeah. The Trello board is also really cool. It's where all our faction rosters and overviews and stuff are. So do have a look at that. I like that. Thank you, Canary Boy. That was a thought crossed my mind, but I didn't mention that. Thanks for sharing that. Zan13, I just hearing this and taking it out of context. Yeah, thank you, folks. Albi Linda, like the dwarves, me. You're a dwarven fan. Fair enough. Ensaita Tiuya. Right, when can I play campaign? Campaign is being worked on, but I'm afraid it is still, there's a lot of work that still needs doing for that. But there's a light at the end of the tunnel for the first time in a while, which is a quote from, I think Maestro said that, and Maestro's been here from the beginning, so he knows. Taiki ZA, cheers guys, have an awesome evening, awesome work my friend. Thank you very much Taiki ZA. One final time I'll say, do have a look at Taiki's channel. He's got some awesome content, some Rise of Mordor YouTube content there, so do have a look at that. Elegy, when it's out we will take a year or so. Join the Discord. You'll be able to play the campaign when it's out, but it'll still take a year or so. Join the Discord for the campaign submod though. Yeah, so do join the Discord. That's where all our fun stuff happens. There's also a campaign submod, yeah. A campaign submod which basically puts Middle-earth map on Europe. So slightly immersion breaking, but still you get that feeling of fighting with Middle-earth troops and stuff. And the guy who made that is Haganaz, who I was praising earlier. Haganaz, not only is he a 2D artist and 3D artist and all that, he made a campaign submod, so he's a modder as well on top of all that. So brilliant. And we're going to give him some copper plates on his... I keep saying copper, it's bronze plates on his greaves here. Holy Plague Night. Anyways, mates, it's sad that I can't finish the stream, but I got to hit the bed. It's almost 10 PM for me and I'm tired. Hope to see some of you guys on Frusty's stream tomorrow. Goodbye, Holy Night. It's good to have you here. It's good we had you here. Sorry. Bye, Taiki. Stay safe. Stay safe, folks. Yeah, truly. Tristan Dolan. This looks amazing and it's not even in game yet. Thank you very much. Yeah, here we go. So this guy is an imposter. This chap in the center right is a tier 2 guide. I'm just having there for reference. But he is not part of the tier 3. This is the outlier. And Thor Halting. There is a submod for campaign. Yes, so do check that out. And hang on, Zan13 has sent me the pictures that he was talking about. Yes, that was it. That's exactly what I was thinking. With the male behind the head and stuff. Yeah. Perfect. I know you guys can't see that, but he sent me some really good reference photos for that. For the Serpent Guard. And they're kind of similar to this sort of helmet here. You've got nose guard, and then you've got scale mail hanging down to protect the back of his head. So this guy has it worse off. This guy only has some metal plates. This guy has a whole case of metal on his helmet head. But I think they look comparative. They could be on the same level. That's much. I feel much safer with that than this. And Quinton saying, I think some sort of Bardiche infantry would look nice. This two-handed axe in the shape of a half moon. Yes. There is an axe-wielding assassin unit in this same tier of tier 3 for Harad as well. Yes, so you will see. I mean, if I might not stream them, I might. You never know. But if I do, then you'll see me design them, and they basically wear no armor at all. They have, they're more of a stealth-oriented unit. So they'll be sort of draped in black and maybe dark red and stuff, a bit like the Hashari unit from Games Workshop, and that you see in Third Age Total War. And LG3, if you have a suggestion, we have a suggestion channel on our Discord. Yes, any ideas you have, maybe even surrounding the general mod, not just this concept art, do head over there, and get your ideas heard, because we want to hear from you. This is a project, for the community purely. So we want to involve you as much as possible. I think the streams are a really great way of doing that. Because otherwise, you guys don't have much of an interaction with us modders. Like I say, I'm a modder. I'm just a 2D artist. I don't actually do any modding. But us developers. So it's really, really great that we can have this kind of connection. And Tristan Dolan saying, imagine if you can make Mumakill. Mumakill are going to be made. They certainly are. Case confirming that, yeah. And Git Van Waarden is in the chat. Git, good to see you. Git is our resident Khazad-dûm fan. So unfortunately, we're quite far south from Khazad-dûm today. We're back in the deserts of Harad, but and unfortunately, Frusty is not planning to do the Khazad-dûm stream tomorrow. He's doing the Oricani Tier 3, so the Eastern Dwarves that live in Rune. And you don't see them in the film, so Edred's coming up with a really stunning concept. And so you will all see that tomorrow. I think that Haradrims will be my second faction, with the Great Tribe System and the Incredible Design. Thank you, Frusty. And LG saying, subscribe to the channel. Yes, we are. Our channel has been growing quite steadily. Our YouTube channel, and I mean, I know everyone says it, but if you hit the bell, you will get notified when we do our next streams. In our case, it is Frusty's modelling stream tomorrow, that I was just talking about. So do subscribe there. We're close to 5k subscribers now, which is really good growth for such a small channel. Also nice, Tom. Thank you, Git. Thank you. Let me sorry, I'll have to show you what we're actually doing, because I was zooming in a little bit there. I know I said it's not good to zoom in, and you caught me there zooming in quite a bit, which isn't good practice, so I wouldn't zoom in too much. But now I've basically got the shape down, so I can sort of relax a bit with that. And Thor Halting saying, cool Eastern Dwarves, yes. If only they made more Lord of the Rings films, but they don't have the rights. Well, I don't know, that's a risky thing, isn't it? Do you want Lord of the Rings films? I mean, on the one hand, you want more Lord of the Rings content, but then on the other hand, like a part of me worries about them screwing it up, like the Amazon series. There's a chance that they will pull off something really incredible, like Lord of the Rings. It's about the rise of Numenor and the War of the Elves and Sauron. There's so much potential for absolute epicness there. Truly, truly epic scenes of when the Numenorians come to the aid of the elves at Mithlond, when Sauron has swept through Middle Earth and is about to defeat them, and then the Numenorians show up, just like Rohan showing up at the Pelennor Fields. Imagine a scene where the haven of Mithlond is full of Numenorian ships, and brilliant, But then on the other hand, what if they try and put stuff in front of the story? We've seen a lot of franchises recently, like Star Wars and stuff, being politicized. Where, regardless of your opinion on it, they've put something in front of the story. That's what I think the issue is. It doesn't matter what they're trying to push, and whether you agree on it or not. But if you try and build a story around that, as opposed to just letting the story run its natural course, it always shows painfully. So there's a chance that will happen as well. So I don't know what to expect from the Amazon series. same with, you know, profanity and gore and stuff that you see in Game of Thrones. Unless there's a good reason for it, I don't know. I think it'll just take away from it. So, I mean, you never know. We don't know what it's going to be like, basically. But I think I do encourage you to keep your minds open about things. Because there is a chance it'll be good. Jasper, well, they don't want to we don't want to get this franchise squeezed to death like Harry Potter or Star Wars. Yeah. There is a new Amazon show, yeah. Numenor or Easterlings or Morgoth. Numenor is very, very cool. Unfortunately, Tolkien never wrote much about the Easterlings. Only a few sentences, as far as I know. All we really know is that they ride chariots, which we didn't see in the films. That would have been cool to see in the films. Easterling chariots. Or sort of wains, which are more kind of like wagons, I think. Owen Whitbread. You guys of the Rise of Mordor team are legends. Thank you very much, Owen. That's really good to hear. Thank you. And may I say that all of you are legends for showing up to the stream. That really is. Very, very nice of you. And it's really good to see all your support. Because that's what keeps us going as modders. You know, it's a free project, so we need your support. So that is the best thing you can give to us. I mean, if you have skills like 3D modelling and stuff, do have a look at our recruitment channel where you can see all the jobs that we need right now. Because, yeah, you'll help it. If you are free and you're willing to put in the time to contribute to the mod, you know, voice actors as well. We've recently discovered how to edit voice lines. So if you have some skill in voice acting, head over there. Go, you know, pop us a message. We'll note down your name and we'll get in touch with you when we're ready to start recording stuff. And again, I'm missing the chat. Lost Gerudo 678. Hello. And Joachim Jungwald, are you going to update the Trello public site to explain more of the unique faction mechanics for every faction? Well, we've got. You might have seen recently on our YouTube channel, we've had some very successful videos. Highlighting faction, so basically faction overviews. You might have seen they've done very, very well for such a small channel. Right now we've got Gondor and Mordor released, so do keep your eyes out for them, and Joachim, do have a look at those videos because they give you the faction mechanics that you're after, and yeah, the rest will be coming out in due course. Hurin. Is there any difference between canned... Oh, why am I saying canned? Is there any different kind of Harad beast unit at the dawn? Is there any different kind of Harad beast unit at the dawn? I'm not quite sure what you mean. I mean, if you mean, you know, other animals for Harad, I don't think there'll be... There might be camel riders, but I'm not entirely sure. So I'm not quite sure what you mean there. Zon. Huron, sorry. And am I... Sorry, I'm completely skipping behind. Will we see custom ships? I don't know, McQueenie. We'll have to wait for that. That's not planned at the moment, but it might well be something we do, yes. And Energy already answered that. Joachim with the faction overview. Geert saying this year will be a good year for the Rise of Mordor development. Certainly will. Certainly will. We have, you know, our team is much bigger than it has been in the past. We've got the biggest team right now, bigger team that we've ever had. Close to 30 people, I think, which is epic. And yeah, lots and lots of progress. Oh, what's happened? Slight freeze there. Always risky. Give that a quick save so we don't lose anything. Right, we've got that. Okay, Charlie Howard. Ooh, Haradrim. Okay, I'm glad you can recognise that. That's good. That's good. That's a good start. Yes, these are the tier 3 Haradrim. So these are not the guys you see in the movie. This guy in the middle here. Oh, what am I doing? Sorry, I'm trying to select the lasso tool. Lasso tool is L. That's really useful as well, by the way. This guy is the tier 2 that we see in the movies. these guys are tier 3, so I'm basically having to make a more elite unit of the guys we've seen in the films. Right, Tristan Dolan, Rise of Mordor is saving Total War. Agreed. I think mods in general have saved Total War. Kili Calais. What are your plans for Umbar? Umbar, as much as I'd wish for them to be their own faction, they are, at the moment, as of now, they are planned to be part of the Harad roster. And at the moment there is 4 units, I think, for Umbar. 2 sort of lower tier Corsair Raiders, then there's 1 tier 3 sword and board unit, and then there's 1 uber elite called the what are they called? Aduna Kori, the Lords of the West. And they'll be basically a blend of Numenorian, Arnorian style, and then Eastern style as well, which is going to be fun. Suzu 30, Easterling Chariot concept art next. Is there? I'm not sure if there's an Easterling Chariot planned. It would be cool to see them, certainly. De Vries, you think when you release the campaign it will also be multiplayer at the start? I'm not sure, to be honest with you. Campaign isn't really my area. But if you do have questions about the campaign, do head over to the Discord and just give us a message, because we'll get to you. We'll always respond to you. It's cool to answer your questions. You should get the guys who know what they're talking about to answer them, though, not me. Tristan Dolan, I'm playing Helm's Deep as I'm watching this. Good to hear, man. And Joe Schnatz, personally most excited for Harad Trollmen. Trollmen, indeed. I haven't really thought what I'm going to do with them. As far as I think they're the... I'm not sure we have a unit specifically called Trollmen, but I don't know. I can't remember when I haven't looked at Trello for a while. But yes, they'll be fun to do. And what are people saying? Whoa, the chat's... I struggle with the chat. What faction that hasn't been released is closest to completion? Erebor, yes. Charlie Howard. So Dwarven fans... No, not saving that as, just saving that. Rest assured, yes, Erebor is really close to being finished now. Frusty is working on it tomorrow in stream, so make sure you catch that one. But yeah, Frusty is going to be working on the final Erebor unit tomorrow in stream. Which is I mean, we have a very few factions that are complete. I think we have 3 factions that are complete: Dunland, Gondor and Dale. So it'll be really cool to have a Dwarven faction that's just completely finished. Durin's blessing to all. Massey Ferguson, yes. Oh, Massey, was it you that your phone died earlier? If so, welcome back. Suzu30, are you using a tablet, by the way, or mouse for drawing? Yes, I'm using a tablet. I think it's really, really hard. I can try drawing with mouse for a bit if you like. Okay, I'm on mouse now, but I mean, I have look how slow this is. If you want to be careful, like precise, I've already screwed that up. If you want to be precise, you have to be really, really slow, and then being slow means you take more time. So I mean, whereas with drawing tablet, I've also got pressure, pen pressure. So if I draw really lightly, I can do a really thin stroke. If I draw fat as opposed to thin, that's the same. So yeah, tablet is just, you know, wildly superior to mouse when it comes to drawing. And what are people saying? Hurin. Yeah, with beast I mean wild animal unit. Like the Mordor pillage food mechanic. I'm not sure. Again, I don't know too much. I mean, Maestro's the guy to ask in terms of, you know, information on the rosters and the balancing and the plans for that. I'm just the guy that draws them and makes the designs. So I'm not sure if I can answer that, I'm afraid. And I think they were mutants of Farharad. Mutants of Farharad, yes, I think they're the kind of troll men. Geert Van Ward saying a bore for Thranduil only. I'm not sure what you're saying to in response to that. But Tristan Dolan saying, just a question, what made you guys pick Attila to run this mod? I don't know, to be honest. That would be down to the people who first started this mod, which is the only remaining guy is Jox, Victimized. So if you hop over to the Discord, give him a shout. He might get a bit grumpy at you, but I don't know why we picked Attila. It's famously unoptimized, which is it's weird that we'd pick something like that, but there you go. I guess it was the most recent Total War at the time. De Vries, will campaign be released this year? I don't know. I'm not a campaign guy, so I'm not entirely sure. I wouldn't expect it this year, no, though. There's a lot of work that needs doing, I'm afraid. Charlie Howard, do I have a favourite Elven faction? Ooh, I like Linden because I designed them, and I like Lothlorien, and I like them all. They look very good. Woodland Realm is very, very fancy as well. I was only saying I prefer the men factions over them because there's more variation, but they still look good. I'm not arguing that. Geert is excited for Lothlorien, so am I. It'd be cool to get back on those designs. Edred's doing some cool designs on them as well, but you should see them soon as well. Geert Van Ward, no, the Betrayer. Okay, so Geert is now a Betrayer for the Dwarves. Now he's a Turncloak. He's changed to the Elven fan now. Malachor 5 or Malachor V. What are wicks? Okay, sorry, that's my poor writing. That is wicker. That says wicker. This is just a wicker. I don't know what you call this. It's a wicker application chest piece that he's wearing. It's similar to this. He's basically wearing this, but with more plates on top. So we'll get to details when it comes to it. At the moment, it just looks everything just looks a bit brown and mushing in together, but we'll come to it. So I'm zoomed in now, folks, but I would say don't zoom in until you've got a much better understanding, a good understanding of what your composition is. Ooh, we don't want to paint in green. So now basically I've lowered the opacity. And if you don't know what that is, opacity is the transparency of the layer. So basically if you draw multiple layers, and basically that's how you build up shading. So now I'm going to just slowly work into the cloth and smooth all these lines out. And it just helps again to be light and to be not care too much. And I'm using a lot to select the new colours that I make, because obviously when you blend two colours like that, now you've made a new colour in between. And then if you select that new colour, then you can select it again and again, and you can slowly fade things out, if that makes sense. To get back on the chat though, Suzu30. Yeah, I was just wondering, I want to get into painting, but I can't even draw on paper, so I don't know if I should bother. Well, you should always bother. And like I keep saying, it's not about talent. No way. I completely disagree with people who say, oh, you're just talented. Load of rubbish. It's all about practice. It's about putting the hours in. I've got skills that I'm happy with because I've been drawing since I was 3 years old. Every day after school I came home and just drew because it was fun. And that just the hours rack up. So if you've got the dedication, you'll always make it, guaranteed. Some people, in terms of talent, some people are able to, grasp concepts faster. I guess you can understand how lighting works faster than someone who's struggled. But even the people who struggle will get there. That's the beautiful thing. I keep saying it's a beautiful thing, and it is. And anyway, let me go on a long tangent on one comment so the chat gets left behind again. De Vries, Attila in a lot of ways is the best Total War. I'm not sure about the campaign, but the battles are great, aren't they? I mean, the blood splatters. Oh, and arrow volleys coming in, and cavalry charges are glorious. It's really, really good. Begrillia is saying it was on Rome 2 first, then the mod didn't finish, and Attila came out. So they migrated to Attila. Oh, I see. Makes sense, yeah. Yeah, you must have been following the mod for a long, long time. Yeah, it's good to see we have such an old, faithful fan, even to this day. Geert saying Frusty Kazadum as well. Killy Calais. Has it been considered porting the mod to Thrones of Britannia since it's better optimized? Considered, but I mean we're not planning on doing it right now. You know, if it was to happen, we'd have, you know, a couple of guys just testing it out. We wouldn't you know, interrupt the whole modding team and suddenly say, right, we're switching. You know, all your models need to be retextured. That's the thing. Porting things to Troy or to Thrones of Britannia, it would require everything to be retextured, and you know, it would mean battle maps can't be used. All the battle maps has to be scrapped. A lot of stuff, you know, I mean, some stuff would be saved and is workable, but a lot of stuff would have to go, and that's just a lot of work down the drain. I know we've been looking into ways of better optimizing Attila, but I'm not sure if we found anything, because I assume it's problems with the base game itself. Geert saying, Frusty, in my heart it will be always Khazad-dûm. Okay, Geert is still a faithful Dwarven fan then. Jasper saying, I think Attila is the most accessible for modding. So I heard, at least. Don't nail me down on it. Well, I mean, I don't know. There's not very many mods for it, are there? Because obviously the campaign map isn't editable. Unless you have the tools, and we've made the tools. So now we can edit it, but as far as I know, we're the only people who can do that, who have tried that anyway. You know, the older Total Wars, Shogun 2, Attila, they are far more modder friendly. You can see so many mods for Medieval 2 and stuff. So, you know, I don't think you're correct there, but I mean, it is. I think it's one of the coolest Attilas. Coolest Total Wars, I think, yeah. De Vries, you're a Banff artist, mate. I'm not sure what Banff is. Sorry, am I being like an old person and not understanding modern language or something? Let me know what that means. Malachor 5, Malachor V. Let me know which one that is, by the way. Is it Malachor 5 or Malachor V? You love Three Kingdoms. I don't know anything about Total War Three Kingdoms, actually. To be honest, it's not an area of history that really interests me. I like Roman, I like medieval, and that's about it, really. Attila runs the best. I got 30,000 units on Helm's Deep right now. You must have one hell of a good computer. I mean, that 30,000 is a huge amount. I noticed the battles on Troy Total War are, despite what people say about them, they are very, very smooth, even with huge amounts of units. I mean, I don't like the battles in Troy. They seem too flimsy. Oh. No, go away. I didn't want to... Right. As you can see, I'm still a tech noob at heart, in that I don't know what happens when things go bad. I have no clue what's happening. Yeah, that's just a misclick on my part. What are people saying? I like Thrones of Britannia. I haven't played Thrones of Britannia. I'm not judging you, man. Massey Ferguson. Just love Thrones of Britannia. Fair enough. Fair play. De Vries, agreed. I've been playing Total War since the first Medieval. Wow. Massey Ferguson, I play with Small Town Garrisons mod. Worth it for sure. And Suzu30, are you going to do any concept art on architecture? That's not something I thought about. I mean, it is something I thought about, but it's not something I planned on doing anytime soon. And let's just get a smaller brush size. Let's zone in on details now. It'll be cool to get some details in on the stream, since you say the eyes. Eyes are tricky. Eyes are always the center. Okay, I'm going to go on a big rant about eyes in a second. So let me just get up to date with the chat. Concept art for architecture, may well do it if we need it. Malachor 5. Okay, Three Kingdoms has a lot of drama. I mean, if I don't see any problem with Git speaking in a different language in Dutch if the other guy's Dutch as well. But it's more family friendly. Well, it's not it's more friendly to everyone else who can't speak it. Oh, don't mute Git, man. Git, he's a loyal follower. Okay, so I'm giving these guys. This isn't how you should draw eyes, okay? Because these guys are special in that they're wearing eye makeup, eyeliner. Weird folks that wear Egyptian style eyeliner. Okay, so I mean, I wouldn't draw an eye like this with such a harsh black outline. I'm looking at you, Elegy, because you sent me that drawing of the eye earlier. So if you don't use this as a tutorial for eyes, because this is an eye with makeup on it. So basically, eyes are really, really important in that you instinctively always look at the eyes first of a drawing. If the eyes are wrong, or if there's no life in them, then they always look slightly dead inside. And then just watch me go and draw some really dead looking eyes. So with the eyeballs, they're not, you might draw them like that. Elegy drew them like this in his drawing, but that looks like he's really, really surprised. His eyes are wide open. In real life, actually, the eyeballs are big, and you don't often see the whole circular pupil. It often just, you sort of see a sort of 3/4 of it like that. Gosh, that looks terrible. Oh my god, that looks shocking. We're gonna do some lasso tool. Means you can basically lasso a section like that, and then you can move it. And Shift D to deselect, and then G to fill. Alt to select that color there, and we're gonna fill that section there. There's a lot of complicated commands that you pick up over time. So yeah, putting the eyes close together, they should have, basically the rules for eyes is you have one eye space in between each of the eyes, like so. And I'm just going to basically cheat by just covering them in shadow, so I don't have to do too much of them. Oh, that's a bit too much shadow. And I am proving that I am not great at doing eyes under pressure. Let me just get up to date with the chat first. Gosh, lots of people speaking. Biggerlist, these Harad guys look like Shredder. Yeah, very true. Is it possible to rework the diplomacy system in Rise of Mordor? I'm not sure, to be honest. Joachim. People saying Malachor 5 Guyliner. Yeah, nice one. Git saying, you don't like me, don't you, Fingers? Fellow Dutchman. De Vries, I think a lot of them do have black makeup in the films. Yeah, it's all based off the films. I wouldn't give it to them if it wasn't based off, if they didn't have it in the films. If it was up to interpretation, I might, but because we see it in the films, it's established. That's what we base most of our decisions off, aesthetic-wise anyway. Gosh, that looks really, really shocking. Apologies. I'm deeply unimpressed by my drawing skills here. Let's work to fix that. Zahn, it eyes stares into my soul from depth of the darkness. Suzu30, eyes are really hard to draw. They are very hard to draw, agreed. Myron reporting my noobness in public. No. It's not, certainly not noobness. Oh, apologies if of that, but I mean, it's just giving you a tip. What people say, Tristan, your drawings are fine, looks good. We can see what it is. Ah, I've got standards. I want. Okay, that's looking slightly better. Let's give it a bit of life. So eyes are very tricky. So yeah, if you struggle to draw them, that doesn't make you a noob, in my opinion, because they are. It's hard to get that thing that gives them the life, you know. It's often the little sparkles in the eyes, the reflections, that is the final touch that helps. Ooh, whoops. That sometimes happens. You sort of do that, but then you can slot it back in like so. Those shadows are amazing, Mara. Thank you. You're talking about drinking. Malachor 5. Have you done concept art for all the other factions too? I've done concept art for a lot of factions, but so far, I mean, there's some factions that haven't had the treatment yet, and there's some factions that had it before me. I only joined the team maybe 9 months ago, I think. So I've done a lot of different factions. I'm happy. I'm glad I didn't sort of focus on one faction only, and then slowly work through them and just get really bored. But I did the whole of Linden and the whole of. I finished off Rohan. But then I've sort of been jumping around doing whatever I like. Arnor, I have great fun with the Arnor concepts. Obviously Harad and the dwarves and the elves. So yeah, lots of different stuff. Jumping around keeps it entertaining and fun. Let's go in with a really small brush now, 6 pixels. Zoom into those eyes. Let's get a brown, kind of fairly light brown. That gives it a sort of look like there's the pupil, like so. Energy saying, no worries man, it's crazy how much we are not that much self-conscious as humans, talking about the eyes, but yeah. You only sort of pick stuff up like that when you study it. The eyes are, in my opinion, a slight bit too big, so I'm going to just go over them a little bit and reduce the size. And then we'll do the little sparkles in them, which really give it life. Okay, I'm just not happy with that at all. Let's reduce the size a bit more. Pupils are pretty big though, so don't underestimate the size of the pupil. That's looking better. Okay, that's good. I'm happy with that for now. I might well go over them later when I come to really finish the concept. But your faces don't have to be hugely detailed, because obviously the modeler isn't going to look at the face and take inspiration from the face, because that's just a face. The bits they're really interested in is the armor and the details on the weapons and the gloves and the bits and pieces that he's wearing. So stuff like that, I need to put in lots of time into getting the patterns like that. They should be right. Whereas cloth doesn't need to be perfect. They can see from this that it's brown, it's quite creased, and it's got some jaggedy bits on, and it's not kept very well, very clean. So that's all they need to see from that. Whereas the armor, they need to see the shape and how it fits the body. So that's where you should spend the time as a concept artist, getting those bits really detailed. And it's hypocritical, and sometimes I don't do that. But hopefully now I'm stepping up the quality. Let's zoom in to get those sparkles. I keep forgetting to do that. And let me quickly catch up with the chat. Malakor 5, Harad and Eastlings are probably one of my favourite aesthetically. Hard to describe, they're a mix of so many cultures. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, good point. Huron, we really know too little information from Harad from the books. Yeah, unfortunately. We know the old Harad had enough power to prevail against Gondor. So for Harad, don't hold back with yourself to stay in lore. Yeah, I mean, all our decisions are our looks are based off the movies, but our decisions are based off the lore. So, I mean, that's really down to Maestro's area. That's not I just draw what he tells me to, basically. We know almost nothing about them. Yeah, very true. Jasper, at this stage, I would have given this dude a nice face scar. When I was a kid, I always drew my warriors with heaps of facial scars. Good idea. Let's do that. This guy has he's lost an eye. This guy has lost an eye. That always looks nice and creepy when that fits really well for something. When you get really close in, you get all these pixels, and that just really throws it for me, because then you lose all sense of what the tone of the colour is. So that's bad when I go in that low. For me, anyway. So this guy's a horrible face scar, which makes him look nice and menacing. That's good. That's good. Great suggestion. And the scar. This guy had a rogue encounter with let's say he had a rogue encounter with a tiger or something, and he came out the victor, but at a price. So let's quickly do that. I'm gonna call it a day soon, actually, with the stream, because we've hit 2 hours. So I'm just gonna do this quick. This quick eye shine here. And it's not anything special. It's just a quick speck. Hopefully that gives it a little bit of life, and of course I'll come to it later when I go over again with details. But for today, I'm going to call it a day on the stream, just because I need to go and have dinner. It's getting well into the evening for me here. But yeah, so today we did this figure. We started from the beginning, from scratch. We drew the basics of it, and we started refining details, and we went in quite detailed, actually far more detailed than what we have here. That's quite basic, actually, now I look at it. But it's basic, but it does the job, you know? That's not the focus. But we went in quite a lot of detail here on that face. So yeah, I'll probably do another stream. Next week's stream, I think I'm going to do more unit cards. We're going to do the Mansion Reclaims unit card. And I might, after that, look to do some Arnor concept art, because of course Arnor needs the love. I need Arnor to get some more love. They completely destroyed Elegy did a poll the other day. Which faction are you looking forward to the most? Arnor absolutely destroyed with a whopping 35% of you. which is 15% more than either Rohan or Erebor, as far as I remember. So Arnor, I know you have fans, okay? So we're gonna get the love back for Arnor. Hopefully either next week or the week after with perhaps some tier 4 unit cards, not unit cards, concepts. So hopefully I'll see you all then. Do of course check out our social media, link down below in the description, and my social media, my own art account that you can find there as well. So yeah, if you subscribe or join the Discord, then you'll notify when we do our next stream. Tomorrow, of course, is Froosty's stream, so I do hope to see you all there as well. He's going to be doing the final dwarven unit for anyone who missed that. So do check that out and wait for that tomorrow. Other than that, I hope you all have a great day or night. Truly, and I can't wait to see you all again. But until then, do stay safe and have fun with Rise of Mordor. So thank you all very much for coming. It's been really, really great. Good night, folks.